So welcome to this candidate forum. 欢迎大家到场参加 Arcadia 华人协会主办的雅士市议员候选人政见发表会。今天大家来到这里，可见大家对这个 Arcadia 市议员竞选是非常关注的。谢谢大家来。My name is Edward Wong, and I'm the moderator for this candidate forum this afternoon. The Arcadia Chinese Association, of ACA, is a non-political, non-profit, all-volunteer organization, and our mission is to provide community services that benefit the residents of Arcadia. This candidate forum is an example of one such community service event. The main purpose of organizing this candidate forum is to provide the opportunity for Arcadia citizens to get to know the candidates, understand their qualification, their policies, and their visions for the city of Arcadia before casting their vote. So today is the first forum only for District 5. In the coming Friday, September 30th, we will conduct the second forum for Districts 2 and 3. We have 2 hours today for this forum, and please note that today's forum will be recorded. So your silence is appreciated. So District 5 has 4 candidates, and they're sitting in front of you, and one unfortunately cannot make it today. So from left to right, Mr. Michael Cao, Mr. Danielson, and Mr. Jason Lee. Now Daniel Malky cannot make it today, but they were saying that they would like to play a short video for you to watch, but so far I have not seen any person approaching me for that. So we will first ask the candidates to give an opening statement. Then there will be several questions from ACA. We will take a 10 minutes break, and after which the podium will be opened to the audience. The candidates will give their final remarks before the forum adjourns. Afterwards, the candidates will stay around for another half an hour for those of you who wants to meet and talk to them. Now, there are a few simple rules that would require your attention. So first, for the candidates, a timekeeper is sitting in front with 2 signs, a 20-second sign in green and a 0-second sign in red, indicating the time remaining for the speech. So please observe the time allocated for each question, as they may vary. And now for the audience. There are pens and index cards on the side tables. If you have questions for the candidate, please write it down on the index card at any time during this forum. You don't need to wait until the second half when we open to the audience questions. You can also raise your hand, and we have ACA directors who will come and give you a pen and an index card. When you finish your question, you can just hand the cards back to them. Our ACA directors all have the ACA name tag on them, such as this one. And it is important that you write your question clearly and legibly on the card, and only put one question for each card. We do not accept questions that targets one candidate. All the questions has to be answered by all candidates. If you prefer to write in Chinese, we will translate it for you into English. And we'll do our best to bring up your questions to the candidates, and we'll do as many as we can for the time allowed. So some general announcements. There are tables at the back where the candidate put their campaign materials, ACA yearbooks and flyers, and you're welcome to take them and also bring them to your friends. There are drinks and refreshments in the back. And again, we're doing a video recording of the forum, and your silence is much appreciated. So now let's begin the candidate's opening statement. Mr. Jason Lee, your name was randomly drawn. You're the first to give the opening statement. So you have 2 minutes.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. First, I'd like to thank ACA, which I'm a former member and former director, for hosting today's debate. Thanks so much for all the hard work that you put in this effort. Also, I'd like to thank everyone in the audience for your interest, for your love and concern for our city. My name is Jason Lee. I lived in Arcadia for 17 years. I am a lawyer. My law office is on Huntington Drive, Arcadia. Why am I running for Arcadia City Council? First, I have always wanted to be a public servant. I just want to serve our residents, like our pioneers, Dr. Chan, Shotei, and John Wu. So I just want to serve our residents. So I ran for the first time for Arcadia City Council in 2010. So this is the second time I'm running. I've always been charity-minded. I have donated substantial sums of money to our police. I have always been encouraging my children to do charity work. Also, I'm a homeowner in Arcadia. I own rental properties in Arcadia. My law practice is in Arcadia. I'm a stakeholder in Arcadia. I'm very much invested in Arcadia. So the future of Arcadia and also the direction in which Arcadia is headed matter a great deal to me personally. Also, some of the toughest issues facing Arcadians motivated me to run. So in a nutshell, I believe I'm the best qualified candidate to run because of my experience and training as a lawyer, because I am semi-retired, I have the time to volunteer on the city council, and also because I am the only English-Chinese bilingual candidate to serve our city. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is truly an honor to be here among such incredible gentlemen and ladies. And my name is Michael Cao. I'm a United States Air Force veteran. I served in active duty as a major for 10 years. I was on the front lines in both Iraq and Afghanistan, where I treated and I saved countless woundless soldiers. I've been living in Arcadia now for 15 years, and I work at USC Arcadia Hospital as a cardiologist, also treating and saving residents in our community. I volunteer in our city. I am one of your city commissioners for our senior citizens. I'm also one of the directors of the Arcadia Police Foundation. For the last 3 years, I think what we've learned is that COVID really impacted our society. And COVID showed us that health is very important. If I'm elected, I will use my experience and resources to create a health commission so that we can expand and centralize and streamline city services to promote physical and mental health for our community. Because of crime trends, we need to prioritize public safety and security. We need someone who has hands-on experience defending our great nation, and defending our community. Senior citizens and veterans are the foundation of our community. Not only do we need to honor them, we need to expand services for them. I have experience with policymaking. Why? Because I'm a state commissioner. I'm a Los Angeles County commissioner, as well as a city commissioner. We live in this beautiful community called Arcadia because everyone cares. I want to be honored to serve, and let's make Arcadia a strong and healthy community.
Mr. Michael Danielson.
Hi, my name is Michael Danielson, and I am currently serving as City Councilman for District 5. I was recently recruited by Mayor Pro Tem Paul Chang and unanimously appointed by Mayor Chote, Mayor Pro Tem Paul Chang, Councilwoman Amber Volato, and Councilman Tom Beck. I accepted the position because of my belief that my past experiences and records of outstanding service to Arcadia would allow me to make sensible, principle-based decisions that reflect the interests and concerns of District 5, while understanding that all decisions affect the whole of Arcadia and its people. I'm confident that my voting record backs that belief. My unique qualifications are based on a lifetime of experience. I've been an Arcadia resident for 37 years. I raised my family here. I retired as the music director from First Avenue Middle School, where I spent 33 wonderful years. I was the Arcadia Teachers Union president, overseeing 500 teachers. I'm on the Rotary Board. I'm on Arcadia Performing Arts Foundation Board. I'm the clerk of Arcadia Friends Community Church Elder Board. I am also retired, and I have the hours necessary to properly execute the office of City Councilman. I have 35 years of volunteerism and service to Arcadia through PTAs, music clubs. I was Scoutmaster of Troop 111. I was an ACA soccer coach, and I do park ministries. I have a personal connection with students, families, seniors, community leaders, the school board, church, service organizations, and Arcadia schools, and many friends. I'm asking you to allow me to continue my service as your elected city councilman for District 5. Thank you.
For all three of our candidates, thank you for your opening statements. Okay, so we start the ACA question. This, again, is a lot of echo. Effectively, 3 mics. Effectively, we only have 1. Okay. The first question will be answered starting by Michael Carl. We're taking turns for the first person answering questions. So this is the first question from ACA. As a city council member, what are your 3 top priority issues in Arcadia that you want to address and resolve? What is your experience and skills that made you qualify to resolve these issues? Do you want me to repeat the question? Okay. As a city council member, what are your 3 top priority issues in Arcadia that you want to address and resolve? And what is your experience and skills that made you qualify to resolve these issues?
Thank you so much, Dr. Wong. That's a wonderful question. So, first and foremost, my entire life has been about public service. I started defending our nation in 1996 as a United States Air Force officer, served in Iraq, Afghanistan. Because of that, public safety and security is my #1 issue. I have hands-on experience. Why? Because I was on the front lines, serving with coalition troops, British, Australian, Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, in defense of our great nation. Public safety and security is #1 for me, also because I'm one of the directors of the Arcadia Police Foundation. We support our law enforcement. We believe that our families and our community should be safe. We need to value and respect our public safety officers, our firefighters, and our police officers. The second issue that I think is important is we really need to champion a healthy Arcadia. Physical health and mental health is paramount nowadays. Why? Because of COVID. We see what has happened because of that. So why am I qualified? Because I've been a practicing cardiologist, a former USC Keck professor of medicine for over 20 years. I know health because that's what I do. I love taking care of our community to keep people alive. The third and very important priority is that the foundation of our community, as I look out in front of me, are our senior citizens. The reason why I moved to Arcadia in 2006 was because of the foundation that each and everyone here built to make this an incredible community. That's why I'm the chairman of the Senior Citizen Commission in our city. We need to expand services for our seniors, and also because I'm a veteran, veterans laid their life on the line for our country. You know, when you walk into the community center, Mary Hansen had put up a monument right in front. And you know what that monument says? Freedom is not free. Everyone needs to sacrifice. And that's what I've done. And because of that, public service is in my blood, it's in my DNA. That's why I firmly believe that these are the priorities. This is why I'm uniquely qualified. I have the time because I'm an excellent time management, and that's why I've been able to volunteer for all these organizations and will continue to do so. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michael. All these questions should take 2 minutes, and I think you're well within that. So all these questions from ACA take 2 minutes. And I just want to make sure that when I say ACA, actually, I'm the only one who knows what questions are being asked. Okay, so this is highly discreet, and nobody else knows. So next, to answer the question is Michael Danielson.
Thank you. There are a number of things that are really important in this city, and you're going to hear a lot about public safety. And I really believe that public safety and you being in your homes and feeling really good and secure on your streets is the top priority. We all desire for safer neighborhoods and business districts and secure schools. We've been through, as Michael said, a horrible pandemic, and it's left us isolated, disconnected, and fearful. Now we are leaving our homes, but the crime element is more active. Criminals do not respect our city borders, and our community is a target because our residents are successful. To combat crime in our city, we need to be the eyes and the ears of the city. To expect that our police department can do it all, or that we can put enough patrols out there to cover all those things is not going to be reasonable. So we really need to connect through neighborhood watch programs, through regular interaction with our neighbors, so our neighbors can come together. If we know our neighbors, we will have the desire to keep each other safe, and we will keep our eyes on the people that are coming and going in our neighborhoods, and any suspicious activity can be identified. Our city does have highly trained, highly responsive police department that will come when you said, you know, I saw something and I'm saying something. So that will be a really important piece. I think the second thing that's on many people's minds is the homeless situation. And I think that it is a very complex situation. The homeless numbers continue to rise, and by law, we are tasked to deal with people that are experiencing homelessness. The city is exploring many partnerships and resources to deal with this challenge. So that would be my second priority, and that the city needs to continue to address this issue by ensuring protection in your neighborhood, that you are protecting your safety, your neighborhoods, and your property values. That went quick. So, thank you.
Thank you, Michael Danielson. Go ahead, Jason.
Yes, my first priority is to ensure public safety, reduce the crime. And how? I think we need to hire additional police officers and have the police officers come to our streets and patrol our streets much more frequently than they're doing now. So I think the increased police visibility on the streets, the increased police presence on our streets will deter potential criminals, will work magic, will prevent a lot of crimes from happening. So rather than to wait for things to happen, I think our police officers should take a more proactive approach to, again, increase the police patrols of our streets. Also, we need to revitalize our neighborhood watch program, because I am perfectly bilingual and I can work with a lot of our residents who are not speaking fluent English. So I can help organize and revitalize our neighbors and basically promote our neighborhood watch program, so everyone will be watching out for our neighbors to prevent crimes from happening. So again, like the saying goes, when you see something, say something. So when some of the neighbors saw some suspicious activities, shady characters in our community, they need to enforce our police enforcement, our police and law enforcement personnel. My second priority is to revitalize, renovate our business districts. Look at our First Avenue, look at Live Oak. They are so old, they are so obsolete, outdated. They need to be revitalized. They need to be made much more physically attractive and prettier than they are now to attract business, to increase the revenue to our city. And also the water shortage problem. We need to basically capture the rainwater and recycle the gray water and use it in the summertime when water is so scarce. Thank you.
Thank you, all three candidates. The next question will be first answered by Michael Danielson. If elected, what is your strategy and plan to improve public safety and keep the crime rate down in the city? Let me repeat again. If elected, what is your strategy and plan to improve public safety and keep the crime rate down in the city?
Okay.
You have 2 minutes.
Thank you. As I started to say before, and I'm happy to have an opportunity to elaborate on this a little bit more. I think that the key to our city is to reconnect our neighborhoods. That we really need to know the people that live around us. We need to have all of our eyes and ears on our streets so that we can see where the issues are. And we can identify cars that don't really belong there. If we know our neighbors, we'll have the desire to keep each other safe. And then we can recognize suspicious activity on there. Also, that forming of a community is going to help us in any kind of emergency that might happen. The city's police are well trained and they are very responsive, and we are very fortunate to have that. In addition, the city is coordinating a camera system that monitors the roads in and out of Arcadia, and it has license plate recognition software that identifies cars that are stolen or that belong to people that have warrants out. With those things, the police will be able to intervene in certain situations before they've even happened. As it was said, even though there is a budget, I would say that placing additional police on the street would help out, but it isn't really the answer, because using one-time monies isn't really a sustainable strategy. So we need to do our part with this together. In addition to that, we need to remember that we have our Class 1 fire department, And we need to, and I do support incentivizing training for them so that we have paramedics on all of our runs. This is sustainable and it is value added to our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Next is Jason.
Yes, if I am elected, and I will definitely advocate hiring additional police officers because they are needed. We do have some, surplus funds. Last time I checked our state budget, so those money are for rainy days. I think right now we are experiencing a rainy day where public safety is very, very critical. So we need to use that money to hire additional police officers and also to, as I just said earlier, to revitalize the neighborhood watch program. Also, I would advocate smart policing. We need to install more cameras on the off and on highway ramps to keep track of criminals and bring them to justice. So those are my strategies and plans.
Thank you. Next one to respond is Michael Carroll. Again, you have 2 minutes.
Thank you so much. This is a really important question. That's why it's been asked immediately. Public safety and security is really the foundation of our community. As a director of the Police Foundation, we're actively fundraising, supporting our local law enforcement. But one of the issues that I want to bring up to our community is that we are having retention issues with our police and our firefighters. We're losing our experienced police and firefighters, and in addition, we are having recruitment issues as well. So one of the things that we really need to improve on is we really need to make sure that we actually meet our numbers. We're actually not at our numbers that we're assigned to be. And that's an issue, right? Because as crime happens, if they know there's not enough officers and firefighters for public safety and security, they know that we're an easy target as a community. The second thing is that we have to look at the underlying cause and why we have police retention, fire retention issues. One, obviously, is compensation, but the second is the fact that they need to feel valued. We need to give them the respect that they deserve. Because I'm a United States Air Force officer, there's only 3 professions that are willing to die for their job. That's police officers, firefighters, and military. They have the respect that they deserve, and I feel that I have the respect from them as well. Feeling value is very important to be able to effectively do your job. In addition to the fact that we did lose our neighborhood watch because of COVID, we need to reestablish it, we need to expand it, and then lastly, we need to have a really robust crime surveillance program. We need crime deterrence and crime surveillance. So these are the issues that we need to address. But the bottom line is that everyone in our community, we care about each other. This is a beautiful community. Let's work together and let's keep each other safe.
Thank you for all 3 candidates for answering the questions. Before we go to the third question, I just want to say again to the audience that if you have a question, you can write it down on an index card, and you can raise your hand, or you can go to the back to ask for one from the ACA directors, and you can do it at any time. And please, again, 1 question for each card, please, and write it clearly. So the third question will be first answered by Mr. Jason Lee. In your view, is our city financially sound? If yes, what steps would you like or would you take to further strengthen our city's financial footing? If not, what is your approach to improve the source of income? Let me repeat that again. In your view, is our city financially sound? If yes, What steps would you take to further strengthen our city's financial footing? If not, what is your approach to improve the source of income? Jason, you have 2 minutes.
Yes, I would like to begin to say our city is financially sound. Last time, again, I checked our budget. Last time I checked our financial papers, we have somewhere in the neighborhood of $12 million surplus funds. So again, we are, in addition to a well accounted for budget. So what further steps can we take to further strengthen our city's financial footing? As I said earlier, we need to revitalize and build up our city's business districts. First Avenue, downtown area, Live Oak. We just need to make our city business districts much prettier, much more attractive, to make sure our city's residents will spend money in our city, in our restaurants, in our shops, and also to attract residents from out of town areas to come and spend money in our city to increase the revenue to our city. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Next to be answered is Mr. Michael Carl.
Thank you so much, Dr. Wong. You know, I think we live in a really incredible city. Why? Because our city, actually, we're doing well. We're very fiscally sound. I mean, when you look at the budget, the projected budget of 2022-2023, our expected revenue is $80 million, our expenditures are $77 million, so our surplus is $2.5 million. I mean, this is incredible, given a lot of cities had financial issues with COVID. But because of that, obviously, you know, we want to continue to smartly grow as a city. I mean, I'm a small business owner. I own my own private medical office. You know, we need to support our small businesses. I mean, mom and pop shops like myself, you know, we need help because we employ employees. And because of that, if we can really encourage and attract small businesses to come to the city, to expand in the city, I think that's going to go a long way in improving the revenue of our city. I mean, a lot of our revenue does come from property taxes, but a lot of it also comes from sales tax as well. So as we increase small businesses, we improve our sales tax, and therefore by doing that, we can improve our revenue. The other thing that we need to do is obviously, you know, we have to be very fiscally conscious. What does that mean? We need to be accountable and transparent. We need to know how the money is coming in. We need to know how we're using it. And at the same time, though, we need to know that what we're doing is we want to make sure that we can maintain our public services. We can maintain our beautiful community. And because of that, that's why I think we are in a good position, but we can always be in a better position. So I really encourage support for small businesses.
Next is Mr. Michael Danielson. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you. The actual surplus coming up this year is about $7 million. We were expecting it to be around 3.5, but there was an excess of money. There was more sales tax coming in than anticipated. So that's where we're standing. We are financially solvent, and the city has made, you know, in fact, I was happy to approve budgets and also approve measures that make us have flattened the curve of our PERS issues, that we had some heavy insurance issues that were coming up and some retirement things that we had to catch up on. And because we were able to refinance part of that, we saved, you know, millions of dollars in doing that, and again flattened the curve where some other cities have decided to just kind of let that ride for a little bit longer. So there have been some really wonderful decisions being made by our city office, and I was happy to be a part of voting for a number of those. As far as revitalizing, I love the fact that we have a Downtown Improvement Association that's been working. We had a wonderful downtown patriotic festival, and there's some other things that we can do with that. We've increased, or we're hoping to increase, the TOT tax for the people that are coming in using our hotels, which will cost nothing to our residents, but will bring in some more money. But we are a community of homes, and so we have to be fiscally responsible with all the decisions that we make. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Michael Anderson. Okay, this is the last question before we take a 10 minutes break. And this question will be first answered by Mr. Michael Carl. What is your view on homelessness, and what are your solutions to resolve or minimize the problems caused by homelessness in Arcadia? Let me repeat again. What is your view on homelessness, and what are your solutions to resolve or minimize the problems caused by homelessness in Arcadia? And you have 2 minutes.
Thank you once again, Dr. Wong. Homelessness is an incredibly complex issue, as we know, in the state, in the county, and in our city. And because of that, we have to look at it from multiple ways. As a physician, when someone comes in with a problem, I just don't focus on one problem. I have to look at the whole patient. And that's the same thing we have to do with homelessness. We know that the majority of homelessness, it does involve mental health issues. It does involve substance abuse issues. And because of that, we need to really help with their treatments. We need to have a way that they can get better from their medical standpoint, the mental health standpoint, and their substance abuse issues. The second is that we also know that there is homeless that are down and out on their luck. And if we do see them, we need to identify them quickly so that we can get them back on their feet. At the same time, tiny homes is not a solution. When we look at homelessness, we have to look at it where we have to be able to work with other cities, the county and the state, because we know that, we're a small city of only 57,000. We cannot solve this on our own. We need to work with communities to have a place where we can talk and develop ideas. And at the same time, I give credit to the San Gabriel COG for having to institute in cities already about getting crisis teams. We need to have more mental health licensed physicians, substance abuse personnel, and these are things that we need to expand on. So when you look at homelessness, these are the multiple layers that we need to address systematically. And if we do that, I think that as a community, we can improve this situation.
Thank you. And Mrs. Michael Danielson, you have 2 minutes.
As I began to say before, the city is exploring many partnerships and resources to deal with this challenge. The city will continue to address this issue while ensuring protection of your safety, your neighborhoods, and your property values. The strategies we begin with are preventing people from becoming homeless. The first focusing on early intervention and connecting people that are at risk with existing resources. The city right now is, the City Recreation Department is teaming up with ACA, that's Los Angeles Centers for Alcohol and Drug Addiction, and some faith-based outreaches to personally identify people to prevent them from experiencing homelessness. Those people who are at risk. Those who are already homeless, the same teams are assessing individual situations to find the most appropriate services for them. This means finding resources to get a place for them to sleep, which is often a Lakota shelter or a faith-based facility, and counseling. That's mental addiction and job-related counseling. A special unit is assigned for acute cases. Next is getting the necessary paperwork, specifically a California ID card, social security cards, and employment papers. Finally, matching those people up with employers who have a heart for those who are struggling and have jobs that do not require specific advanced training. I work with a faith-based outreach twice a week over the last few months, and I've seen many people taken off the street, actually taken out of homelessness, through the sincere efforts of Lakota, Seaboy Park Ministries, faith-based facilities, and programs such as Set Free LA. The work is slow, but progress is being made. Ignoring the problem will not make it go away. Our city is tasked to take care of all of our people, regardless of their social stature or financial status. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jason Lee. You have 2 minutes.
My view of the homelessness issue is that it is not a new issue. It's, time honored. We've had this issue since the days of Charles Dickens. If you read Charles Dickens' novels and watch the movies adapted from his novels, you will see the homelessness issue existed almost 200 years ago on the streets of London. So, having said that, my solution is that instead of delegating the task to smaller cities like Arcadia, like Sierra Madre, like Monrovia, I think the county has better resources and can handle the issue much more cost effectively. For instance, the county can probably build a large housing project that could house 50,000 homeless people and build accessory clinics, hire doctors, hire psychiatrists that would offer ongoing treatments to these people because they need the treatments. Also, maybe build nearby rehab centers because those homeless people who also suffer from drug abuse can be also treated at these rehab centers. Also, build accessory like a farm or a factory where these homeless people, once sufficiently recovered from their illnesses or drug abuses, can be trained for re-employment. They could do some work on the farm or in the office or in the factory. So eventually, they need to get back on their feet because some of them are still young. Some of them are in their 30s, 40s. So they need to be retrained. They need to be trained for future re-employment. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Let's give a round of applause for all the candidates to answer these questions. This concludes the first round of questions and answers. And we'll take a 10 minutes break. And candidates, the ACA directors would like to take a group picture with you. So during the break. So the ACA directors, please all come and take a group picture.